Hi there, my magical star beings. This is Psychic Siren Tarot, and welcome to the channel. In today's reading, we're going to be taking a look at how people are enchanted by your beauty. So please be aware this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. I'm now going to show you crystals for each pile, but before I do, I want to say this is a Halloween pick a card, and we may be doing more of these until the day of Halloween, so stay tuned for that. So for pile number 1, we have the Apatite crystal. For pile number 2, we have the Sewer Mermaid. For pile number 2, we have Rose Quartz. And we have the Pink Lotus Fairy. And for pile number 3, we have Amazonite. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to pick a pile. Pick whichever pile you're most drawn to, the one that is calling out to your soul the most, and that will be a pile for today. But of course, if you're drawn to more than one pile, always trust your intuition. Once you're done picking a pile, please find the timestamps for your pile in the description box below, and then I'll see you at your reading. Hi there, my pile number 1s. If you chose this Apatite crystal and the Sewer Mermaid with your sensuality is beautiful, card number 25, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at how you enchant others with your beauty. So this is a Halloween topic. We're going to be doing more of these. Well, we might until the day of Halloween, so stay tuned for that. So I'm going to add all your cards now. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. The card you chose is from the Shadows and Light Oracle deck. So I'm using the Wisdom of Avalon Oracle deck now. I feel like choosing a card like this. So this card here is really sticking out to me. We have the Raven with magic, coincidence, and synchronistic events. Just put that here for now. And I'm being called to this one, the Wind Fairy with thoughts, words, and intellectual analysis. At the back of the deck, we have the Earth Fairy with physical health, grounding, and foundations. So now we're going to use the Vanessa Tarot. So spirit guides on my pile number 1s. How do they enchant others with their beauty? We have the Nine of Wands showing up first. How do they enchant others with their beauty? The Seven of Pentacles. How do they enchant others with their beauty? We have the Ten of Wands. And the Page of Cups in reverse. At the back of the deck, we have the Hanged Man. So now we're going to use the Victorian Fairy Tarot. So spirit guides of my pile number 1s. How do they enchant others with their beauty? So we have the Two of Pentacles in the reverse. We have the Star card. I'll fix this in a moment. Then we have the Worlds. How do my pile number 1s enchant others with their beauty? So we have the Ace of Summer, which is the Ace of Cups. We have the Nine of Spring, which is the Nine of Wands. How do my pile number ones enchant others with their beauty? We have the Ace of Autumn, which is the Ace of Pentacles. And at the back of the deck, we have the Knight of Winter, which is the Knight of Swords. So let's first talk about what about your beauty is enchanting, and then I'm going to look at how you enchant people with your beauty. So the first thing I'm noticing within this pile, I'm getting like black cat energy. And what I mean by this is, I don't know if any of you have ever scrolled through TikTok and then you'll have like the one best friend that has black cat energy, and then the one best friend that has golden retriever energy, and then the black cat energy in the like first friend is that one with that very intense look that kind of is like a little bit intimidating. So I get that kind of like intense, intimidating look to you that actually people find very sexy. There's something dangerous about it. Hearing that song Dangerous Woman by Ariana Grande. So there's something about you that seems a little bit eerie in a good way. Like the vibe I'm getting is almost like with magic here. If you had to imagine, for example, like a sexy witch, and this witch is so sexy, but you don't know if she's gonna cast a spell on you. Like, it gives me that type of vibe, if that makes sense. And I mean it in the best possible way. Like, Spirit is taking me back to Jennifer's Body. Also Nancy from The Craft. And it's like, when I talk about sexy witch, I don't mean that in a bad way. It's actually like a really good thing. It kind of reminds me of like this energy of people seeing you in your beauty as a little bit like sexy, seductive, but then also it kind of feels a little bit like people are under your spell. I mean, even with the mermaid here showing up, you could have a siren-like energy to your beauty. Do you know when someone's like, they're under a siren spell or something like that? Like, that's the vibe I'm getting from this pile. Like, someone looking at you and how you enchant them with your beauty is like, they're under your siren spell and they keep walking over to you, even if their thoughts tell them not to. It's kind of like, you don't have to physically do anything, but you just lure them in, if that makes sense. And it's like they're under a hypnosis spell where they can't think for themselves. All they want is you. Like, I get that very seductive vibe from your pile, and the type of vibe of enchanting in hypnosis, in, you know, it's almost like feeling like they're under your spell with magic here in the Raven. I feel like this is my pile of people that may eat healthy and may take care of your physical health and your physical body. That could be seen as something so beautiful to others. It doesn't necessarily have to just be eating healthy and going to the gym. It could also be, you taking care of your skin, you drinking a lot of water and hydrating, you making sure you're taking care of your mental health with the Wind Fairy, you making sure that you're moisturizing yourself, taking care of your skin. There's something about that coming through where your beauty looks like you take care of yourself, either your skin, your body, your mental health. You look good, you look glowy, you look like you're healthy, if that makes sense. So that's something people find beautiful about you and enchanting in your beauty. With the star here, you're someone that shines bright like a star, and everyone notices you within your beauty. I'm seeing a lot of like dark hair, so like either dark browns or dark shades in your hair color, or black hair. I'm seeing like dark brown eyes, black eyes, something like that, like dark shades or darker skin, and I'm seeing light skin. So opposing colors where maybe like some of you have really dark hair but then light skin, for example, or maybe you like to wear dark clothes like black or darker shades. Like I'm picking up on a darker color, if that makes sense, in a good way. Or I'm seeing some of you like to wear earthy tones, and that's something people like about you, or blues or greens. Whereas some of you have like a look within your eyes, even if you have lighter eyes, there's something very intense about them, like an intensity to your eyes. And if you ever wear dark lipstick, that's also coming through. Yeah, I'm getting an intensity in your eyes, like a seduction in your eyes. Some of you could like to do cat eyes through your makeup. Like I'm picking up on cat-like energy, or something foxy about the way you look, seductive. Some of you could have a cute face as well, whereas some of you have an intensity to your face. Just take it as it resonates. Because we all look different, we all have different physical features. People are really drawn to your lips and your eyes and your cheekbones too. They also think your eyebrows are done well. And you could have a really hearing like banging hot body, and I'm like seeing people like the way your body looks. Especially like the front area, the chest area. Like that's something I see in your legs. So that's what I see about like physical features and everything there. It doesn't necessarily have to resonate, but how you enchant others with your beauty. Like I said, you have the siren-like energy to you in the way that you look with your beauty that enchants others in a way where they feel like they're under your siren spell, where they feel like, okay, I can't resist you. Yeah, you're irresistible, my pile number ones. That's how you enchant people, because it's like that irresistible feeling of, even if I try to resist you, I know I'm gonna want you. Like the vibe I'm getting from your pile is the irresistible quality, in the sense where, like, let's say, for example, you're a woman and you make a male friend, and this male friend knows he's attracted to you physically, but maybe he tries not to, like, go there in a romantic sense. And let's say, for example, with the books here in the Ten of Wands, let's say you start to study together, and let's say you're looking into this person's eyes and they're just finding you so irresistible in that moment they want to kiss you, but maybe they're like talking to someone. They don't have a girlfriend yet, but they're talking to someone and they're like, no, I can't do this, and then they stop being friends, because it's like you're just so irresistible and so hypnotic that it's like, I want to forget about everything in this moment and just kiss you, like from other people's perspectives, or just like be with you in some way. There's a lot of seductiveness and sensuality here, if that makes sense. Like I'm putting myself in other people's shoes, but it doesn't have to be necessarily like that, but that's just an example of the energy. You could be of a different gender and be, like a merman or something like that. Your energy kind of reminds me of the Love Witch. I don't know if any of you have seen that movie, but she's sitting on a park bench and she just kind of sits there and she enchants the man over by just looking at him. It's like she almost talks to him telepathically and draws him towards her. So that's something I see here. And, I'm hearing that song that's like, that girl is poison, something like that, but in a good way, where it's like, I'm looking at the apple here and I'm thinking of, how Snow White ate the apple. And it kind of gives me the vibe like people get this sense of like if I come towards this person, it's dangerous because they're too sexy, they're too seductive that I know I will want them. And it kind of gives me that energy, if that makes sense. But maybe you have so much beauty that maybe in some way you're also Snow White, where other people of the same gender could get very intimidated by you because of your seductive nature. So it's like, because I see even here with the Nine of Wands, we see this man analyzing something with that thing there. I don't know what that thing is called. Forgive me, pile ones. Sometimes when I'm channeling, I forget words to things because I'm like in that other ethereal realm. But he's like staring at something, you know? So I feel like a lot of people like to stare at you and look at you. And because you have such an enchanting beauty, you know, sometimes that may attract jealousy on the opposite side of the spectrum. With the Ace of Cups, I'm hearing a song by Snow Allegra. It's like a romantic song. It's like something about you feels so familiar. Let me just Google the lyrics and see what it is. Okay, so when I typed in her name, it kind of just clicked on the I Want You Around song, and there's actually a synchronicity in there where it says, it's not that I don't want you here, it's something about the way you stare into my eyes. I know I don't make things clear. I fall for you every time I try to resist you. So that is a huge synchronicity because my phone just clicked on it. The I Want You Around song. And imagine that you have that irresistible quality. So the song I was actually hearing was Fool for You by Snow Allegra. And then in the song she's like, and I'll be a fool for you. I leave and I come back again. I'm a fool for you. I love you time and time again. I just know how the story ends. So, and she talks about like something about you that's so familiar, something that's got me wanting to know you, and I can't put my finger on it, but it feels like I've been here before. It's something about me that makes me wonder. I swear I've met you, but you're a stranger. So you may have that type of vibe to you where with the worlds even, it's giving me this vibe of like an ethereal kind of nature where, you know, when you meet someone and there's something so familiar about them where it feels like you've met them before, it feels like you've known them your whole life. You may have that effect on people a lot. And with the worlds, I'm getting this vibe of, since we have a fairy world here and the human world at the top, you know how sometimes there are multiple dimensions and there are past lives and things like that. So you may sometimes get people thinking in that sense with thoughts, words, intellectual analysis, like, have I met this person in a past life? Is it a parallel universe? Is it deja vu? Did I meet them in a dream? And that's something about that is enchanting because it gets people thinking, and it's like, I can't figure it out. I'm just so drawn to you, but I can't figure it out. So I feel like on some level with magic here, it's also your energy that somehow makes people like think, that makes people like, I swear I've met you before. And then they kind of become a fool for you. So you get some people that kind of like, I know you're not like this because I feel like with the Ace of Cups, the star, you're someone with a big heart and you're someone with a lot of light within you. And though there is that seductive, dangerous quality, I feel like you are someone within your heart space, and when people get to know you, they see that side of you. But I feel like if you had to be a player, for example, you know, you'd get certain people that would chase after you, that would just be a fool for you. Like, that's the type of seductive beauty you have, where it's like people will just chase after you. And I know you're not like that, so I guess that's not applicable, but you have that type of beauty where people could be that way, if that makes sense. And what I really like about your energy is you come through very transparent. Like when people talk to you, they feel like they really connect to you on a mental level. Like on a communicative level where they can talk to you about anything. You seem very smart to people. You don't just have a seductiveness to you and a physical beauty. You are also really smart and really intelligent, and you have a lot of wisdom. You seem like an old soul to people, and something about that enchants people. It's like a beautiful enchantment where I'm really connecting to you on a mental level, and I feel like you really get me. So then, like, me putting myself in the shoes of people that are attracted to you, it's like they want you even more because of that, because they feel like you just tick all the boxes because you're intelligent. People can have a conversation with you. People feel like they can have deep conversations with you, many conversations, debates with you. Maybe you know a lot about different topics, or you're just someone very open-minded that people can talk to you about anything, like aliens, topics about other things like spiritual topics, or maybe people can talk to you about like certain things that are happening in the world and you're clued up. Like, it feels like people can talk to you about anything and you'll always have something to say back that puts them off guard. Like, you have the type of energy when you say things, people don't expect you to say that, and then it puts them off guard, and you have a very mysterious vibe to you as well that is enchanting to people, because it's like, I want to get to know you more. I feel people like wanting to understand your mind and how your mind works, wanting to pick your brain, not in a weird way, but like wanting to understand you. I'm hearing that song by Skin Shape. So the song is called Inside by Skin Shape, and he says something like, I want to know what you're thinking, how you're doing, how you're feeling inside. When will you let me, tell me, show me, give me everything that's on your mind? So it's like, it's that type of energy, like people almost want to be inside your mind and understand you. And the way you have an enchanting beauty, it comes through like people don't just see you as seductive, like someone good to look at. Like, you're very good looking, don't get me wrong, but at the same time with the Ace of Cups, you know, with this little picnic here, it kind of gives me the vibe of a date, and like people wanting to take you out on a date and wanting to really get to know you, wanting to really have a conversation with you and understand and be in your world. And with the Two of Pentacles reverse, it's like you put people a little bit off balance because, like I said, they don't expect you to be the way that you are. You may also have a very mystical, magical side to you that puts people off guard, and it's like, whoa, I didn't expect you to say that. And then it puts them off balance because it's like they want to figure you out. And I think that's the mystery coming through again. All of a sudden it felt like someone bit my lip, so the seduction energy keeps coming through here. And like people wanting to take you out on dates, or, you know, like really work hard for you with the Seven of Pentacles. You give me like that energy of like people wanting to work hard to court you or to romance you up. To get to know you on an emotional level. Like, physically, people like to stare at you and look at you. You're someone that shines bright. You're someone that stands out like a star and really shines. And like, it's hard to not notice you, but there's also a vibe here of wanting to get to know your heart, wanting to get to know you on a soul level, wanting to put in work and effort for you. And even if it feels challenging, it's like they're up for the challenge. You may have people that like to chase after you and like to put in the work to really get to know you. It gives me like princess treatment. Even if you're not a woman, it's like, okay, they want to treat you like a king or a queen, you know, really put in effort for you and please you. Like, that's what I feel here. People want to please you. That's how you enchant them with your beauty. Page of Cups reverse. What is this trying to show us, Spirit? I'm getting the vibe of, like, you're very mature. You can sometimes, you know, not take life too seriously, and you can be someone very playful, but then at the same time, I'm getting the vibe that you're very mature for your age with the Page of Cups reverse. Like, let's say, for example, someone here is in their 20s. You could have so much maturity that it's like you're so mature for your age that people would mistaken you in your mind to have the mind or mentality of a 30-year-old. Or let's say someone here is still in school, which I don't think you should be watching this reading because there's so much yeah, but anyways, let's say you're still in school. Maybe people think like you're so intelligent, you're so mature for your age that it's like you have the mentality of someone in their young adulthood. Or let's say someone here is in their 30s, but you're so mature for your age, more than people your actual age, that your mind, like in your mind space and emotional intelligence, it's like maybe people your age don't always like understand your intelligence or get you on that deep level that maybe people older do. Does that make sense? Like, even if you're in your 40s or 50s, the same applies. It's just like you have a youthful look to you, but then also at the same time an intelligence that makes you seem like an old soul. So I feel like you really catch people off guard. Anything else about how they enchant others with their beauty? I used this example another day in that other reading. Can't remember which one it was. But I'm looking at this mermaid here and like I imagine crocodiles surrounding her, right? And let's say this man wants to get into the water even though he knows crocodiles are around. But he's gonna get in anyway because he wants her. Or like they're giving me a vibe of, I don't know why I'm seeing this, but maybe because it's Halloween, but like, you know, those spirits that are in movies and they're like a sexy seductive spirit, like almost like a succubus kind of energy, and then the man goes towards her and he's kind of stupid for doing that because it's dangerous. Maybe, you know, she transforms into something else and bites his head off. I don't know. But like it gives me that vibe still of like, you know, people going towards you and they do anything to get with you. Like even with crocodiles around you and you're a mermaid here, they'll still do anything to get you. Does that make sense? So that's the vibe I get here. This was your reading, my pal ones. I really hope this reading resonated. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye! Hi there, my pal number twos. If you chose this rose quartz heart and the pink lotus fairy with its time for spirit, card number 43, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at how you enchant others with your beauty. So please be aware this is a general reading. Only take what resonates and leave the rest. This is another Halloween pick a card reading. We may do more of these until the day of Halloween, so stay tuned for that. The card you chose is from the Shadows and Light Oracle deck, and then we're going to be using other Oracle cards and other tarot cards. So let's get started with your reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest, especially when I talk about physical features. So I felt like doing this for pile 1. We're using the Wisdom of Avalon deck and just pick whichever one I'm drawn to. So I feel this one. We have the Merlin with Alchemy, Justice, Balance, card number 1. And which one? This one. The Water Fairy with Feelings and Emotions, card number 28. At the back of the deck, we have the Earth Fairy with Physical Health, Grounding, and Foundation. So let's just put these cards here. What's so eerie is the fact that there are like tadpole leaves here and a lotus flower here in her hair, and she's the water fairy, and here we have the pink lotus fairy. Completely different decks but similar setting, which is so creepy but at the same time cool from Spirit. Okay, so Spirit guides of pile 2. Well, it's not creepy, but it's just like so synchronicity. So synchronistic. So spirit guides of pile 2. I feel very excited, very happy during a reading. Maybe you have this very happy-go-lucky, like warm demeanor towards people. So spirit guides of pile 2, how do they enchant others with their beauty? We have the 10 of Cups. We have the Queen of Swords. We have the 6 of Pentacles. We have the Queen of Wands. This is Vanessa Tarot, if I didn't mention. At the back of the deck, we have the Devil. Spicy energies. So now we're going to use another tarot deck. The Victorian Fairy Tarot. So let me just make more space here. So spirit guides on my pile number 2s. How do they enchant others with their beauty? We have the Wheel of Time, which is the Wheel of Fortune. Very interesting. We have the 10 of Winter, which is the 10 of Swords, I think. Let me just make sure. Yeah, the 10 of Swords. We have the King of Autumn, which is the King of Pentacles. How do my pile number 2s enchant others with their beauty? We have the Chariot. We have the Hermit. We have the 3 of Summer, which is the 3 of Cups. I don't know why I was going to say 10, but here we have the 10 of Cups. We have the 4 of Spring, which is the 4 of Wands. And I'm also noticing the Empress wanted to come out, so I hope it shows over here in camera. And at the back of the deck we have the Moon. So let's talk about your actual beauty first. So some of you could actually be Asian, some of you could be white, some of you I'm seeing darker skin tones, like with the Earth Fairy at the back of the deck. Take it as it resonates. I'm picking up on like some here that live near water or that live near the beach or something like that. May not resonate with everyone, but maybe 1 or 2 people or a few people here. Or you could just live in a very hot area that is like reminding me of having like lots of scenery, lots of beautiful nature, something like that. Whereas others of you could live in the city, like I'm seeing New York. I don't know why, but I'm seeing that. Or London. People really think your fashion style is on point and it is so enchanting. Because it's like I'm looking at the pink Lotus fairy here and her outfit. And it just looks so creative. It looks really, really creative. And I'm getting the vibe here of like you putting together certain pieces of clothing or you doing your makeup or your hair in a way that seems very you and seems very unique and creative. And it seems very innovative. Okay. And I'm getting the vibe of like you wearing something and that enchants people. Spirit is taking me back to those Barbie movies. I don't know if I'm not sure which movie it's called. But if I'm not mistaken, it could be the movie where she goes to Paris and she tries to be a fashion designer and then her clothes can change like maybe your clothes don't change, but like she can change her clothes like magically or something like that. I don't know if it's the right Barbie movie I'm picking up on. But maybe that has an enchanting factor on people, like your clothing style. You know, when you're looking at someone and their fashion style is just so nice that you just want to keep staring at them. That it's a little bit enchanting and magical in some way. That's what I feel here. Or with the Merlin and makeup, maybe I'm getting maybe some of you, when you do makeup, you do it with intention. Like maybe some of you are more spiritual or mystical, or I'm picking up on, this may not resonate with everyone, but like glamour magic, or you speaking affirmations in the mirror to yourself that make you energetically more glamorous. And what I mean by this is you could be, yes, very physically sexy and glamorous from this pile. I'm picking up on glamorousness. But at the same time, when I look back at certain times where I used to like really put healing into my rose water and then put it on my face and wash my face with it, and then I'd like maybe put like rose quartz and like not rub it all over my face, but like put it around my face for beauty, and then like I'd put on my makeup and then say like affirmations to myself in the mirror while putting on my makeup. There is a huge difference in the way that I physically felt that day, and a huge difference within the way I looked, even if it's not big physical differences. You know, maybe my skin just looked clearer that day, or maybe I just looked more confident in myself, or maybe my makeup just looked really good. Like, that's the vibe I get here. So your enchanting quality could be in the fact that you can kind of like, even if you're not, like the vibe I'm picking up here, how do I describe this in words? Even if you're not physically doing glamour magic, it's kind of like, I don't know, in those witch movies, you know, when they do magic on themselves to look younger or to get more beautiful. It seems that way. Maybe not to others, maybe they don't think that, but your beauty kind of seems that way, even if you don't physically do it. Maybe that's the enchanting factor about your beauty, where it's like, it seems magical in some way, where you just look like you're always getting more beautiful and more beautiful and more beautiful, if that makes sense to people. Like I'm seeing the Swan Princess. Is it Barbie again? I don't know. Why am I picking up on Barbie? Do you guys like Barbie, or are you like a doll or something? Like, do you look like a doll in some way to people, or like very cute or very pretty? But yeah, she transforms into a swan and then also a princess. So there's this vibe of like transformations, glow ups, something like that, that is so enchanting to others. Like maybe some of you have transformed the way you look in some way over time. Or maybe it's in your fashion style. Maybe you're someone that can kind of shapeshift between styles and aesthetics. Like maybe today you can look really warm and colorful. Like I'm picking up on a very colorful vibe from this pile. And maybe tomorrow you can look very like the Ice Queen. Like intimidating, do not talk to me. And then maybe tomorrow you can look really sexy and hot and mysterious but also seductive, and then maybe the next day you look very like earthy, and then the next day you look very ethereal. Like I feel like you can jump between looks and styles, and the way you want to appear to the world, you can appear like that, sort of like magic. You know how they say a woman can, I don't know how they actually say it, but they say something like a woman can create magic with her makeup and the way she kind of shapeshifts herself, because it's like you can wear makeup and contour your face and look like a different person, or you can, I'm not saying you do, but I'm saying like women can do that, and we can change maybe the way we want to appear to the world. Like today, if I want to wear smart clothing and attire, people will treat me a different way than if I was to wear this kind of clothing. Does that make sense? So I feel like that type of vibe from you, like you can kind of shapeshift into any setting you want and how you maybe want to be perceived or treated that day, or maybe just how you feel that day. So maybe you go off a lot of like how you dress up according to how you feel. Like, okay, today I feel like I don't want anyone to talk to me, so I'm going to dress up like this and look intimidating. Tomorrow I feel really happy and I want people to talk to me and be warmed up by me, so I'm gonna wear really colorful clothes and look very bright. Like, that's the vibe I get here. Maybe you dress according to feelings. So I kind of got lost there in your energy. Maybe people get lost in your vibe or in your energy. Like when they're around you, they feel like, oh, we can talk for hours, and then look at the time and it's like, whoa, I thought we were just talking for 30 minutes, but 2 hours has gone by. Maybe you have a very dreamy and ethereal essence too, with the moon at the back of the deck and the water fairy here. I get that vibe from you, but you also in your beauty have a seductive vibe to you, and you also have a type of colorful aspect to you and like creative aspect to you. And I'm also picking up on like a very Venusian energy here with the Empress. A very like romantic essence too, like Venusian romantic essence. What I'm really getting from this pile in terms of physical appearances, I see dark hair here, like black or brown, dark brown. Blonde hair is coming up a lot. Maybe some of you like to dye your hair different colors. I see a natural beauty also, yeah, I see a natural beauty. But then I also see you can look really glam with makeup. Like, I'm hearing the word baddie. And I'm feeling like some of you even look good when you're just wearing lipstick. Like, you can, maybe wear concealer or mascara and like lipstick, or just lipstick alone, and it looks good on you. Or some of you like to glam up your whole face, wear a full face of makeup, and your fashion style. And there's also like a shyness to your beauty and your look that people find even more enchanting. It makes you look even more ethereal, like this water fairy or the pink lotus fairy, like very dainty and cute. I'm not saying that you have to be dainty in the way that you look. Like, you could be more voluptuous, but I mean, it's something very cute about you that makes you seem almost like a fairy, like how fairies are small and they fly around and they're just so cute. They have a little bit of a mischievous energy, but a cute, giggly energy to it. Maybe like you have that type of fairy-like energy. So, how you actually enchant people with your beauty. How I said, like, you can shapeshift. I feel like that's shocking to people. It's enchanting to people because you can be this and that. Do you know those memes on Instagram where it's like, get you a girl that can do both, and then she's wearing like a sneaker and then also a high heel? Those are like memes from long ago, back in the day. I'm seeing that clairvoyantly. Yeah, so that's something people see about you, and it's like, it catches them off guard because it's like, people always wonder, like, what are my pile number 2s gonna wear next? I'm also seeing a vibe here of you enchanting others with your fairy-like energy. You have a very fairy-like energy. What I mean by this is, I don't think it's just your physical appearance that enchants others. It's also you do have a lot of beauty, but it's also your vibe and your energy, because it says here a time for spirits, and the water fairy is connected to, her emotions, to the spiritual side. She's very empathetic towards energies, So I feel like you somehow enchant people energetically, but also with your beauty. And I feel like, vibe of like, let's say a fairy coming up to me and, I'm instantly going to trust this fairy. Maybe I'm going to want to follow this fairy because I'm like, ooh, a fairy. I've never seen one before. And want to follow it wherever it goes. Like maybe you have that type of vibe where maybe you have a very unique physical appearance to you or a very unique vibe that people feel very intrigued by it. And then they kind of like want to know more. They want to kind of like give you a lot of time and attention. And you know how fairies are so cute, you just instantly trust them. I feel like your vibe makes people instantly trust you, and that's how you enchant them with your beauty. Maybe even this pile sometimes has pretty privilege with the Six of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. Like, I'm getting the vibe maybe you sometimes get things for free or you get treated a little bit differently because of pretty privilege, and that may be how you enchant people, or you could do that if you wanted to. Like, an example of this energy was I don't really want to say this to my YouTube channel, but I'll just say it. Someone told me to show my face and to show like a little bit of cleavage on YouTube, and I was like, I could do that if I want to, because like I've never shown my face on here because I want to be a little bit more mysterious. But if I did do that, I know I'd get a lot of views because I'm beautiful. I know I'm beautiful. But it's like, I don't want people to just want to watch because of that. Do you get what I mean? So I could do that if I wanted to. Maybe you two have the same vibe, like my pal twos. Like if you just maybe showed a little bit of skin, maybe people would just buy you drinks at a bar, or like, do you get what I mean? Like maybe you have that type of pretty privilege where you could get what you wanted if you did it, if that makes sense. Where it's almost like with the Merlin, I feel like sometimes people are a little bit under your spell. Like the vibe I get here is you have people. I don't know if some of you have a social media platform, but I'm seeing, or like just loyal people around you in general, or like people become very loyal to you when they meet you, even if they're a stranger, where like they're going to defend you to the max. They're going to trust you to the max. Like, see you as someone that can do no wrong. Does that make sense? So I see that, and it's like, it's almost like they're a little bit under your spell. You can kind of like have people wrapped around your finger if you wanted to, but I don't think you're like that because we have the water fairy here. I feel like you care too much about people to be manipulative like that, but if you wanted to, you could have people wrapped around your finger. Like that's the type of powerful energy you have with your beauty, with the Empress here, because she even has this magical wand. And I feel like because you care so much for people and because they feel that very caring, emotional aspect to you where you feel things so deeply, where you're so empathetic and nurturing, and you're so connected to spirit, so connected to your intuition, you can read the vibes very well and you know who to let around you and who not to. And you know, those people that do eventually come into your circle, they can tell that you have a good vibe too. They can tell based off your vibe. You make them feel safe. You make them feel seen. You make them feel loved just by you being you, you know? So there is that energy of them like being, I'm seeing like friends being ride or dies to you, or people being loyal fans to you, like on social media or something like that. I don't know if some of you have public platforms, but that's the vibe I'm getting. Maybe some of you could also be photogenic or could make TikToks or something like that. What I'm getting from this pile with the Queen of Swords and the Six of Pentacles, it's kind of like, I don't have to talk to you, but I'm gonna give you the time of my it's almost like you have this very kind, calm, serene demeanor that people love about you. And that's also why people trust you very easily, where it's kind of like they're under your spell a little bit because they become so loyal to you. I'm seeing You know, in the Enchanted movie, it's funny that we're doing a reading on Enchanted Beauty and I'm seeing the Enchanted movie. And that evil witch where she has that henchman and he does everything for, like, I'm seeing that to explain the energy. But then it's kind of like people trust you so much that they just follow everything you say, that they'd listen to everything you say, even if you're not completely clued up on a topic or you don't know everything about it. If you just had to talk about it a little bit, I feel like people would be like, yes, yes, yes. They'd kind of like just agree with you. Or sometimes you'll get people that feel like they're more interested in you than you are in them. Like where it feels like they're almost fanning after you, if that makes sense. Where, like, let's say they're talking to you and let's say they have a crush on you and you have this demeanor of like, you don't fully know them yet, so you're not fully opening up yet. You're in that Queen of Swords energy. Once you fully open up and see that this person, you've discerned them, you know who they are, then you open up your heart to them. But it's like you're in this Queen of Swords demeanor, like, I know my worth, I'm gonna speak my truth, don't disrespect me. So you also have that type of vibe to you, and then I see it's like they almost like want to kiss your feet or do something to warm up the Ice Queen, if that makes sense. I'm not saying you are an Ice Queen because I feel like you're a very warm person, but then you also have this energy where you can be both, where you can be the Ice Queen, but you can also be this warm person, if that makes sense, depending on if people get on your bad side and they disrespect you, or if they're going to be kind to you and open up to you and really come to you with genuinity and good intentions, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's like I see you being strong in your boundaries, strong in your self-worth, where it's like they just want you to pay attention to them and pay them time of day. And it's like, I see them being very generous towards you, where you may even sometimes attract people with the King of Pentacles that like physically want to spoil you, that physically want to buy you gifts, buy you things, take you out on expensive dates, spoil you in a financial way, if that makes sense. And with the Wheel of Time, I'm still getting this energy of like, I can switch between the energy. I can be sunshine today and tomorrow I can be a lunar energy. It's like that. It's like that Gemini energy is switching between two sides, if that makes sense. Or maybe you're just a very multi-dimensional person. And yeah, I feel like with the Empress, you do have a lot of beauty. But how you actually enchant others with this beauty, I feel like it's also through kindness and through your heart, through kind actions, through you, through you being your loving self, your empathetic self. It opens up people's hearts, and I'm seeing you forever have a place in their hearts. And that's how you enchant others with your beauty. I'm seeing it like in a very mystical way. Like you always have a place in their hearts. I feel like people find you very fun to be around with the Four of Wands and the Three of Cups. People find you a celebration to be around, though, with the Hermit and the A Time for Spirit and the Water Fairy. I feel like you could be a little bit more introverted, or you could like your alone time sometimes. You could sometimes need time to recharge because you're so empathetic and intuitive. You need sometimes time to recharge, because sometimes people can drain you. Like maybe you have a social battery for certain people, but it's like because you're a little bit more introverted and to yourself, for some of you, when you do come out into the world, it's like, oh, Pile Them Too, I've missed you. Like I can't wait to see you. So I get like people here in your energy that are very excited to see you when they do eventually get to see you. And they're very happy to be around you. Like they find you very fun to be around. And there's something very memorable about that. And that's how you enchant others with your beauty, not just your physical beauty, also your inner beauty. Because it's like then they always remember those fun memories they have with you. And that's enchanting because I see people like where maybe you saw them once and they'll still talk about you, like the memories they had with you because it was so fun. Or maybe people you stopped being friends with for a long time, but they still talk about your fun memories together. Like that's the vibe I get here. With the chariot, it gives me the vibe of like, what is the chariot shows me? It's that energy, how I said before, like with the fairy energy, like people instantly trusting you. It feels like a very fast energy with the chariot. Like if people usually take maybe months to open up and trust someone, with you, they're going to open up in one day, if that makes sense. You may sometimes get people that are so enchanted by your vibe and your beauty that they'll even tell you personal things that they don't usually tell people and overshare a little bit, and it's like they'll go home and they're like, why did I say that? But it's because your vibe is also a little bit enchanting that makes them trust you. Yeah, you're really seen as a celebration. You're seen as so loved. You're seen as free-spirited, and people love that about you. Seductive, ethereal. This is how you enchant others with your beauty. I really hope this reading resonated. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye! Hi there, my pile number threes. If you chose this Amazonite crystal and the witch at the end of the world with an important end, a new beginning, card number 45, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at how does your beauty enchant people, how you enchant others with your beauty. Okay, so what I'm picking up from this pile, but by the way, this is a general reading, only take what resonates, leave the rest. And also, we're going to do more Halloween picker cards like this. I might until the end of Halloween. So just stay tuned for that. But what I'm picking up from this pile immediately, I heard the word aquatic. So you could really, you know, be drawn to the ocean. I was seeing Moana and how she's, you know, very drawn to the ocean. I was also seeing Lilo and Stitch, you know, like when she jumps into the water in the beginning of the movie. So you could have that type of energy where you're very drawn to the water. And I was kind of like seeing Moana as if she was going through a jungle and she was not like afraid to be out in the nature. So maybe you're someone that is really drawn and pulled into nature, like, and the ocean and water. Maybe you're just very connected to nature, the ocean, water, something about that coming through, something about your energy coming through is very bold and fearless and free-spirited. And there's something about that is hypnotic and enchanting to others, that is like, whoa, like, it's almost like that type of energy of your fearlessness and your boldness makes people enchanted by you and makes people like very magnetized to you in some way. When I was looking at this card, I also heard the word Kali, and Kali is, it makes sense because I read something about her and time. I'm not sure if it's true, but like we see this symbol of time here and the witch at the end of the world, which is a symbol of, you know, ending a cycle and creating a new cycle, a new beginning. So that's really coming through. Like maybe you've ended certain cycles in your life and that fearlessness shows through there as well, where you're not afraid to create change in your own life and end certain cycles that are no longer meant to be in your life. That could be that fearlessness showing through again. So I'm going to use the Wisdom of Avalon Oracle deck first. This is the Shadows and Lights Oracle deck. And I felt called to like pulling a card like this, seeing which one I'm drawn to. So I feel this one. We have the Mystery. Card number 52, so you're very mysterious. And we have the Queen with woman, fertility, feminine power, sexuality, and friendships, card number 4. I also noticed this card wanted to come out. So the Lady of the Lake, Absolute Truth, Courage, Self-Respect, Responsibility, card number 8. And what's so interesting, I said something about ending cycles. I feel like you've been going through a cleansing of your life, because I'm even hearing the washing machine come to an end in the other room. So, you know, the washing machine clears and cleans things. So I feel like you've been cleaning up your life, or there's been a cleansing in your life where you've been letting go of the old. And there's something about that is enchanting. The fact that you're fearless towards change, fearless towards dancing with your shadow. And, you know, I see a duality with this pile, like where you're not afraid of your shadow, because it's like you have light, but then you also have shadow. So I see like a connection with you being connected to your divine, the soft, light, divine feminine energy here with the Queen. You're seen as a very pure soul, but then you're also very connected to your dark, divine feminine energy, where you're not afraid to own that shadow self and, you know, empower yourself through shadow work and through healing, through ending certain cycles and through your sensuality, okay? That's what I'm really getting from this pile. And I'm hearing a song for you, actually. So what's interesting in this pile, like, I'm just getting messages from you. I haven't even pulled all the cards yet, but I just want to say the messages I get before I forget. So I went on a little bit of a deep dive there because I couldn't find the song. And like, I don't know, like I deleted Apple Music and then got YouTube Music, long story short. And then I lost some of the music that was on there. So then I had to go like on a deep dive finding the song. um, so first, like, I was hearing the song She's Magic, It's Tragic That No One Saw It When It Happened. And I don't remember who sang that song, but it was like a spiritual artist. And then I found that other song that's like Sparkly by Maija, and she's like, I like to be sparkly. And then I went down the deep dive of finding this song, the song I was actually trying to find. It's called Higher Self by Leah Delani, Liya Dalin, Dalaini, sorry. And it's called Higher Self, and she says something like, my hips moving like my favorite pendulum. Now I got everyone's attention. She says, I don't fight with my demons because I'm friends with them. We've been chilling in a different dimension. So that song perfectly portrays like what I was seeing here. Like, I feel like you have this very mystical side to you that kind of portrays in like this spiritual kind of song where she's connecting to her higher self. But then she also is connecting to her shadows and not fighting against it, but playing with it in another dimension, you know. So you could be that type of person that is very mystical, very magical in some way, like with the witch at the end of the world here, like very connected to your higher self, but then also your shadow self, and allowing it to teach you something and to learn from it and to grow from it, in a way that you're giving love to your shadow self, because our shadow self is just the wounded version of ourself that has turned bitter, that has turned dark, that has turned maybe not even dark, you know, in our eyes maybe we see it as dark, but it's turned angry, you know. So that's what I want to say here. You're very connected to your light divine soft feminine energy, but then also your dark divine feminine energy, that very powerful fierce energy. And there's this mystical, magical, sparkly vibe to you, almost like a fairy. Some of you may actually relate to pile number 1 or 2 if you were drawn to both, because there are synchronicities in both. In pile 2, we spoke a lot about the fairy energy, if you relate to fairy energy. And in pile 1, we spoke a lot about that, you know, intensity to their beauty and like a mystery and all those things. But I feel like with your pile specifically, it's like a mix of both energies here. It's not just one, because in pile one, it was very much like that dark divine feminine energy, but in this pile, it's like a mix of both. So if you don't feel called to any of the piles, that's okay. But with your pile, I'm even receiving information like straight away. I'm not even pulling cards. And it just shows how connected you are to spirit, how mystical you are, that it's like, I don't even need cards to pull for you. So just bear with me as we get the messages. Let's pull the cards first before we get more messages, Spirit. So we're using the Vanessa Tower now. How do my pile number 3s enchant others with their beauty? We have the Ace of Swords. And if this is coming through in your reading, this may be enchanting to others. Like maybe this connection between both the divine feminine energy, like it's balance, like the dark and the light, you know. And this mystical side of you could be very attractive to people. We have the Knight of Cups. I feel like you also have a very dreamy and ethereal energy to your look and to your beauty. We have the Four of Cups at the back of the deck, as well as a mysterious vibe that just intrigues people, pulls them in, you know, like wants to get, like where they want to get to know you, that type of energy. So, spirit guides on my pile number 3s, and how I had to go on a deep dive to find that song is kind of also a message. Like, maybe people feel like they have to go on a deep dive into themselves to find a person like you. Like, I feel like a lot of people, because you're so protected with all the black she's wearing, black is protection, because you're so protected, you know, you only meet people when they're like right now, you only meet people when they're at a phase of their life where they can open up to you and be emotionally available and, you know, be in your sacred energy, because your energy is coming through as very sacred, where it's like they have to physically go out and find themselves to find you first, if that makes sense. We have the Knight of Spring, which is the Knight of Wands. Or people may feel like, I'm hearing that song by Rihanna, like that song like Where Have You Been All My Life? People may feel like, where have you been all my life? Like, I've been looking for a person like you all my life. Like, damn, where have you been? We have the Fairy Bride, which is the Lovers. So you could also be seen as marriage material. Let's add all your cards, because I feel very chatty with your pile. Otherwise, we'll be here all day. Okay, we have the Six of Spring, which is the Six of Wands, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just make sure. Yeah, the Six of Wands. We have the King of Summer, which is the King of Cups. We have the Nine of Autumn, which is the Nine of Pentacles. And when I split the deck in half, we have the Devil in reverse. And that confirms what I said, like, and the Magistrate wanted to come out, which is the Justice card. Either come to me with honesty or truthfulness, or don't come to me at all. If you haven't gone within and learned, and if you're not self-aware enough, like, you don't belong in my energy, because it's like your energy is so sacred. Like, that's what I feel here from this pile. This pile may even, what I'm getting like from your energy is you may not even watch like every reader on YouTube. Like, you may only watch readers that you specifically resonate with energetically, because you don't want just anyone to read your energy. We have the Queen of Summer, which is the Queen of Cups. Because I feel like you're an evolved soul. That's what's really coming through. Like, you've gone through your own healing journey. Like, I'm seeing the Hermit clairvoyantly. We have the Five of Summer, which is the Five of Cups. And we have the Six of Autumn, which is the Six of Pentacles, ending off. At the back of the deck, we have the Seven of Summer, which is the Seven of Cups. And that confirms the dreamy vibe I got, because Seven of Cups always reminds me of a dreamy vibe. So let's just first talk about your beauty. I don't know why I'm seeing this. I never usually see this kind of message, but I'm seeing like oval faces or like a longer kind of face. But people find that really beautiful, like your face shape, or I'm seeing heart-shaped faces or diamond-shaped faces, if that makes sense. And um, I'm seeing like you have a seductiveness to your look, but also this pureness to your look at the same time, which screams like, yes, I'm sexy. I'm hearing that song, I'm sexy, and I know it. Yes, I'm sexy. You can look, but don't touch. It gives like that type of vibe of like, come to me with sacredness, and you can experience all of this glamorous, beautiful energy. And well, I don't mean to make this an 18 plus reading, but I feel like this is my pile of people that are very connected to their sensuality. So if someone was to be with you intimate in that way, they first need to probably commit with the fairy bride. They first probably need to put in the work and the effort to get to know you, to see that side of you. But once they do, it's like they're hooked on you. They're hooked on you for life. Like that's the vibe I get from this pile. But it's like the seductiveness, but respect me, kind of seductiveness, if that makes sense. Like don't sexualize me. Yes, I'm sexy, but don't sexualize me. That's what I get from this pile. And it shows that your energy is sacred. And that's not to say anyone that shows that side of themselves to people is not. But, we're all different. We all feel different about our sensuality and who we want to share it with. So that's what I want to say about this pile. This pile is seen as marriage material with the fairy bride. And it's not just your physical appearance that enchants people with your beauty. It's also your inner beauty. It's also the divine within you. I feel like you are a queen or you are a king and you hold yourself up to high standards. And I feel like if someone wants to be with you, they really have to meet those standards, because it's like you have a lot to give. You have a really big heart with the Queen of Cups. You have a lot of love to give. You're very generous as a person with the Six of Pentacles. But if they want to come to you, they have to, exceed your expectations, because it's like, I can't be the only giver in this connection with someone that only wants me for a superficial reason or only wants me to give to them. Like, it needs to be balanced with you. And like when people come your way, because with the Five of Cups, like I feel like you've been disappointed sometimes by people, because I feel like you have such a big heart that maybe you've given and that hasn't been returned back to you. So it's like with this bird energy here, it's like you're protecting your heart like a mama bear. So in terms of talking about your beauty, I feel like you have, like I said, ethereal, dreamy beauty to you. There's something about your hair being very flowy and beautiful. Rosy cheeks I'm seeing, or like a tint to your cheeks. Or for the darkest skin tones, I don't know, like I'm seeing, it doesn't have to be darkest skin tones, but I'm seeing like, when you're in the sun, there's like a glow to your face. If some of you wear highlighter or anything like that, or some of you like there's a tan to you, or some of you are very pale, but it's like you have a pinkness to your cheeks that is seen as pretty, whereas some of you are maybe like a darker, or not darker skin tone, but like, like how some people have like a pink undertone where their skin goes like a little bit pink in the sun, whereas others like their skin gets more tanned in the sun. I'm picking up on the other spectrum where it's like your skin gets very tanned in the sun and maybe you have like freckles on your face or something like that. Or for the darkest skin tones, like there's something like, I don't know, I'm clairvoyantly seeing a woman, for example, at the beach with a darker skin tone and she's wearing highlighter and it looks golden on her face. It looks beautiful. She looks like the sun card, like standing out, shiny, beautiful, if that makes sense. And for the lighter skin tones too, maybe like if you wear highlighter, you know, like a paler or pinkish highlighter will look good on you. So I guess I'm just seeing the different skin tones and like how that would be perceived based on who's watching. Does this pile like to wear dresses? Because I'm seeing a lot of dresses. I'm seeing like a very girly look to you in the way that you look and dress if you're a woman. But for my men, I'm seeing, what am I seeing for the men here? For the men, I'm seeing like a neat and tidy look where you look presentable, and that's seen as sexy to the people that are attracted to you. I feel like you have this very harmonious look to you, and I feel like Spirit likes to sometimes make jokes with me. I don't know, but like Spirit is taking me to this harp here, and you know, like when someone's so beautiful, it sounds like a harp is playing in the background. Spirit's showing me like that, like as a joke. But you could be that beautiful that it just enchants people as if it's like music is playing in the background. With the Knight of Wands, we see this man staring. So you could have a lot of people stare at you because your beauty is so enchanting that it's just like people want to stare at you. I'm seeing those old machines at like, what are those things called? Oh, I'm seeing a jukebox, those retro jukebox. So I don't know if some of you have like a vintage look to you in the way that you dress that kind of reminds people of a specific era. Like I'm being taken back to 70s, 60s, 50s, the 90s, the 2000s, something like that. That may not resonate with everyone, but like with one or two people. Some of you could have, with the witch here, you could sort of like put people under a glamour spell where it's like all they see is you. I'm seeing someone like walk around and all they can do is think about you. Even in this King of Cups card, he looks like he's kind of daydreaming. You may have that effect on people, how you enchant them with your beauty, where it's like all they can do is think about you. All they can do is daydream about you, as if like they're under a spell in their mind, like all they can do is think about you and look at you. And Spirit is showing me this is a very funny vision. Maybe this pile is funny because maybe like your funniness, like not in the way that you look, of course, but like maybe you're just very charismatic with your words and you know like how to make people laugh. And it's like that could be seen as charismatic, where it warms people up to you and enchants people a little bit, where even if it's like a year later and they think back to the joke you made in their mind, they laugh a little bit. So the vision I saw was Lord Farquaad when in Shrek, like he's looking at the screen, that magic mirror, and then he's like, show me Fiona again, show me Fiona again. And then he's like watching her on repeat again and again and again. So you may get some people that like on social media, maybe they stare at you a lot. Or if you have anyone that has a crush on you, they may stare at your pictures a lot. Or you may still have exes that still keep your pictures. Weird, creepy, I know, but that's what I'm seeing here. I think, yeah, that's definitely weird, but I'm seeing that and it's kind of funny. Like that scene from Lord Farquaad always makes me laugh. So I'm getting like you age like fine wine as well. And I'm getting that you, with the Six of Spring, like maybe you take a lot of time to get ready or to get put together, or maybe it looks like you take a lot of time to get ready. You know, like this card kind of reminds me of a celebrity when they have like a makeup artist there in front of them, someone doing their hair there, and then someone there doing something. Like it gives me that vibe. So maybe people look at you sort of like that. Like I said, you give off Queen King energy, so people naturally put you on a pedestal, and you know, they may assume that you put in a lot of time and effort into the way that you look and the way that you appear, because there's something about you that looks kind of perfect. I'm hearing a song now. Oh, this song is so cute. So I'm hearing the song Something About You by Dent May and Idris, where he's like, she looks just like a dream, the prettiest girl I've ever seen from the cover of a magazine. So maybe some of you are very photogenic because we keep seeing like magazine, people watching you on the phone. So maybe you're very photogenic, or if you take TikToks, you could have, like people stare at you there, or people stare at you in public and just view you as very photogenic. Like those very pretty or handsome people where they're just so pretty that you'll maybe get people ask them like, are you a model? You should really try be a model. Like I get that type of vibe from you, and I'm not just saying this to like sweeten you up. I'm not just saying that because I really feel it here. And I feel like, yeah, like you also have this mysterious vibe that enchants people and makes them very intrigued by you, makes them want to get to know you. I feel like with the Knight of Cups, you do have many secret admirers that kind of like crush on you. And I feel like in terms of everything else, I see like dark hair, black hair, I see brown hairs, light brown hair, blonde hair. I'm getting like this pile may have a clean and aesthetic look to you. Like maybe you're liking minimal. What is that word? How do I say it? Minimalism. For some reason, yeah, when I'm channeling, sometimes I can't pronounce words. Like when I'm not channeling, like I can talk, but then when I'm channeling, sometimes I'm up in those ethereal realms that I forget how to be human. So, yeah, in terms of everything else here, I see this pile. People like when you wear jewelry. There's something very enchanting about your jewelry. Like people could like to look at your jewelry the whole time and your body as well. And I feel like I'm hearing the word elegant. You have an elegance to you in the way that you look. And like that song, you look just like a dream. A dream come true. You're showing up as the fairy bride, your marriage material, my pal threes. You're like the one person people want to cuff, people want to marry. You have that type of beauty, but it's not just the physical, it's also an inner beauty within your heart. Because it's like with the Queen of Cups here, it's your heart that people fall in love with. It's your heart that people get enchanted by. With the Six of Pentacles, people may still remember little things you've done for them, like if you've ever bought someone a gift, it doesn't have to be romantic, but like, let's say you've bought someone a gift, they could be enchanted by that in a way where they always remember that. And like, let's say you bought someone shoes, for example. Now, every time they wear those shoes, they think of you. Or let's say you bought someone something really thoughtful that they really loved, and every time they use it, they think of you. Or let's say you took a friend out to coffee and a meal, but you paid for them, and that made them feel like, oh, that's so sweet. No one's ever done that for me. It's like that type of vibe. It doesn't necessarily have to be material, like material gifts, but it could also be your generosity. Maybe you've said really kind things to people, or you've complimented people in some way that they'll always remember that compliment. And maybe they'll even, like tell themselves that in the mirror. I feel like you have that type of vibe, that beauty with that inner beauty where people really trust you, where people see you as very truthful, wifey, husband material. People see you as responsible. People see you as you're very intelligent. You have an amazing mind with the Ace of Swords, with amazing ideas and a beautiful heart. It's like you tick all the boxes of what a person could want in a friend and a lover, and like your courage as well. I feel like you have courage to be yourself in the world, to put yourself out there in the world in terms of friendships, in terms of romance. And you have self-respect, as we see here. You know, you really respect yourself, and that's something that makes people respect you. And then they feel even more enchanted by you. I feel like this pile has mama, dada bear energy, like a very nurturing energy with the King and Queen of Cups. You're very connected to your emotions, and that emotional side of you is seen as so beautiful to people, so enchanting to people, because I feel like you've built things up for yourself, but because you're so connected to your emotions, it's easy for sometimes like people to disappoint you because you have such a big heart. You're a giver, you're a natural giver. And, you know, when people don't meet those expectations or they don't give you the same energy back, it can be disappointing. But I think when you find people that are just like you, that are also givers, it's like an endless supply of love. I'm seeing the Two of Cups and like how the cup can be poured in to each other, like you're both pouring in the cup into each other, and it's never emptying. You know what I mean? Since we have the King and the Queen of Cups, I feel like when you find people that are really having the same heart as you, that same big generous heart as you, then it's even more enchanting because it's like an endless supply of love. And this is why I feel like this is why people fall in love with you in an enchanted way. Like, it's not just like people are enchanted by your beauty. I feel like people really fall in love with you in a platonic way, in a romantic way, in a way of like, I'm sharing my heart with you. You know, people see you as that one person they will always remember. There's just something about you, my pile number threes. And I feel like here you also have a very relaxed, chill demeanor that makes people feel safe, and that's even more enchanting. You have a luxurious energy, like a rich energy to you in the way that you feel. Like this inner richness within your soul. You are a diamond, a one of a kind, like a rare gem. And I feel the type of enchantment you have over people is like the type of vibe where they can't stop thinking about you, where they can't stop daydreaming about you. So this is what I have for you. This is how you enchant others with your beauty. I really hope this reading resonated. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye!